Hello.
Hello, I think we're live. First broadcast on this wonderful group on Facebook, so hopefully people can see us. I know it's going to be recorded automatically on Facebook, so people can watch it at a later time, which is more convenient to them. So everyone that's actually watching it live now or on a recording, hiya, my name's Alan Stockdale, and this is Debbi Anderson. As you can see, we're both healers, and we both we use different modalities. One of them's the same, which is source healing. Debbi, you use other modalities as well, don't you? Where you do
Yeah.
the entity attachments and detachments and all that. So,
Yep.
if you just want to tell people exactly who you are and what you do.
Um, I'm a healer, as Alan was saying, and I do use different modalities. One is source healing, which I have been learning and doing that Alan also does and has been showing me. Then I do soul-centered healing hypnosis, which is, excuse me, you take off if there's any entities and attachments that we all seem to collect in our vulnerable states over time.
And you've done
Um,
that on me as well. Very successfully did it on me.
yeah, and like lots of people, AI attachments, and I've been getting a lot of artificial intelligence and robots and machines and lots of that kind of energy on people. And also, I do regular like past life regression and
Yeah,
that kind
me
of
too.
work as well, too. So it's very rewarding. I really love it.
Yeah,
It's
me
great.
too.
Hmm.
It is. It's an
Yeah.
honour to do this sort of work. I mean, I don't
Hmm.
even call it work. I mean,
Yeah.
doing the source healing for me. I mean, when I was doing the past life regression stuff, yeah, that was
Yeah.
enjoyable. I love talking to people's higher selves and answering their questions. I love all that. But I must
Yeah.
say, when sort of falling into this source healing as it did with me, I mean, that's what I want to do on this broadcast. I want to talk about how we came across it and how it happened and some of the
Great.
success stories we've had, and just to let people know how they can do it themselves, basically. So, I
I
mean,
remember telling you, I remember saying, "Hey, Alan, I'm doing hypnosis, which you also do.
yeah,
And it works really effectively. However, it's very time consuming. And I was an energy worker before I did, removed a lot of blocks and like emotional blocks, which then showed me physical blocks and so on. And I'm like, okay, we should be able to help people um, in a quicker way.
yeah.
And we had this conversation, and I don't know how much longer after that you said to me, well, you were under meditation, and then you started. You were very interested in knowing that as well, and then you said, hey, listen, this is what happened in my meditation, right?
And it was like the answers to your prayers, wasn't it? Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right,
I
and
mean,
it
what
works.
happened with me, I think, with the way it started for the source healing. I mean, now since then, I've seen people online what talk about using source healing, but when it first started to come to me, I'd never heard of it. It's just, I was just basically suffering myself from a bad back. Do you remember
Mhm.
prior to when we actually started really communicating? Uh, and I was really in a lot of pain, and I got
Yeah,
myself a pyramid because I'd heard about these healing pyramids. So I bought one of these. Well, I actually didn't buy it. I actually bought the parts and built it myself. Built a pyramid outside to the right angles, which took a lot of
yeah,
faffing about, a lot of measuring. But anyway, I did that, and then I just started meditating under that, just to sort of ask Source to heal me back. And I was using it to manifest myself weight training again, manifest myself being fit and being able to just walk around pain free, and it started to work. I started to feel better, and
hmm,
as I was doing that, and from that, I realized that wow, you can actually heal yourself. This is really powerful.
yeah,
And then I remember it was the summertime. I was outside in the house, not this one, but the one I was in before. And when I was meditating, my higher self just said to me, "Look, this is a way to detox. this is where people can detox if they've had a certain substance put into them. Well, a lot of people have on this planet at the moment. I was given this option to, you do this detox and then put it on a video, and if anyone wants to find it, they can. So in this meditation I was doing, my higher self told me to just breathe in and bring in source energy into the top of my head. And it said, just imagine that it's grabbing all the toxins in your body. Then as you breathe out, all the toxins are getting released. So I thought, wow, that seems quite straightforward. So I started meditating outside, started doing it every day, breathing in, and imagining it attaching to all the bits of rubbish in my body, all from food and what we drink and breathe and everything else. And it started from there, and I started to feel better in myself. I felt more healthier. And then from that, I started having meditation journeys. As I remember, I made quite a few videos, and you started to come into my sphere then, didn't we? Started connecting, didn't we, via that and another method. And it just went from there. I just kept getting all this information how to do it. And then I was told I could do it for other people. And then it really started to take off then. It basically the same principle of what I was doing outside for myself to detox is basically what I was shown what to do for other people. And then it's just been practice, and different things have come to me which have added to that. Or why don't you try it this way? And we'll go into that in a bit. And it's just got to the point now where I'm having some miraculous things that people are healing. People like my mother-in-law. I've talked
Your
about.
mother-in-law, right?
Yeah, I mean, she's got diabetes all her life, and boom, it just went. And she was actually very ill because she was still taking the insulin, and the doctors couldn't work out what was happening to her. And then we realised that it's because she's not diabetic no more, and they did all the tests, and they were just amazed that it's gone after 20 whatever amount of years it was.
That's
and that was down,
mind-boggling. Like that just says how powerful it is. And she's doing really well.
She is.
That video there's a video that she's talking. She's so sweet.
Yeah, she is.
You know, and how amazing she's feeling.
Yeah. With the arthritis as well, the latest thing is because she's riddled with arthritis really badly. I mean, she has to walk with a frame. But one of the worst ones is in her neck. He's like just moving the neck from side to side. It makes her feel sick. It's so painful. But that's gone now. That's gone. And it's just because I keep sending her healing constantly. Every not every day with her, probably 3 times a week. I keep sending her healing because she's got that many things. What's been wrong with her? And I think the reason that's happened, Debbie, I think is because Source has put that in front of me to show me how powerful it is, and to say, right, this is what everyone can do. You can do it. Anyone can do it. It's so simple to do. It's basically as long as you can meditate and you can connect, and I think if you believe it as well, that's a huge part, as you know. I mean, because you
put the intention out there.
Exactly.
You put it.
You're manifesting it, aren't you? With your will to heal. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it where I've done it. It might not be exactly the same that as you do, but which doesn't matter. It's really just all source healing, and I've seen it work instantly. Like, for example, my daughter was feeling unwell, just kind of symptoms of lethargy, and she was feeling kind of nauseated and didn't have much of an appetite, and she wasn't going to go to school that particular day. So I did some work, did some source healing. That's exactly what I did. And I have a pyramid as well. And it's just so much more powerful when you do it inside the pyramid. And I didn't say anything to her, and she was dropping off some work a little bit later, maybe a couple of hours later after I did this work. And I'm driving in the car with her. I'm like, well, how are you feeling? She goes, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. Like, so, I mean, there was nothing different. She didn't do anything. She didn't take an aspirin. She didn't take any of those, the mainstream medications to help her. Oh, she had a headache, and that all gone. So I've seen it worked instantly. And then I, like with certain things with myself, I know that you and I did it together one day, and I had been feeling awful, literally. And I mean, literally, this is no crap. I got up after we finished, and I was perfectly fine. I had not been eating that day. I wasn't feeling well, and it's similar to what my daughter was saying, but
Yeah.
it had been gone on for like a week and a half. I was perfectly fine. In fact, I think I told you I hadn't been
An
eating.
apple, was
I ate a
it?
candy apple,
Candy apple.
which I'm not saying I was saying eat candy apple. I'm just saying it was like instant. So, and then there's other things I think that people, you might find might take longer to. I don't know how that works. Like how
I think that, I mean, this is all quite new still to me and you, isn't it? I mean, it's
yeah,
been
yeah,
it's probably
yeah,
been a year since I started doing it. It's probably 18 months actually since I did that first thing in the garden with my back. But it's been
yeah.
about 18 months. But it's only, I think it's the past 2 to 3 months. Since I've moved
Mhm.
into this new house, it seems to have gone up quite a few gears, and I've been given a few upgrades, which I'll talk about in a bit maybe. But I think what I'm starting to see is if the person what you're healing, if
Yeah.
you make a proper connection with them, and if they know you're sending them healing at that time and they
Mhm.
accept it, as well as the higher self accepting it, that seems to amplify how good it is. Because when we did that, me and you'd been
Mhm.
ill, like you said, for 10 days, and I
Oh,
said, let's just
right,
combine it. I mean, we live
right,
probably 5,000 miles away, different time zones.
right.
And we just did a mutual meditation,
Just for
concentrate
a few,
on the
not for
same
very long either.
thing.
It
10
was,
minutes, was it? 15 minutes,
yeah, it
maybe?
was about 15 minutes, I think,
Yeah.
for what,
And
yeah.
and you couldn't believe that result yourself. You were
No.
quite shocked, wasn't you? How
Yeah,
how
I
it
was.
felt
I
as
was
well.
actually, for myself. Also, what I felt was intense, hot, not just heat, hot, 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 hot.
Yeah,
Um, which I hadn't experienced just with myself,
yeah,
um,
exactly.
on
So
myself.
it's
Exactly the
amplifying.
same.
Yeah, it must be.
Mhm.
Because I mean, I've been doing it on this group we're on now. I put a post nearly 2 weeks ago now,
Yeah,
and I sent a lot of healing out to a lot of people. But because we're on a group with people we don't really know, I don't really know if it's been effective. If anyone out there has felt any better, but these are people what I've only just connected via. So I've put a message on Facebook. They've said
right.
yes, send me some healing. I've said what do you want doing, and they might have said, oh, I've got a bad back or whatever. So I don't know what the results are all then were, to be fair. If anyone's watching this now, either when it's live or recorded, if you could
Mhm.
actually send a message to me and let me know if you're one of the persons I connected to, and let me know if you felt any better, because I'd like to know how
Right,
effective it is just on that basis. Because like I said, when me and you did it, we know each other well, even though
right,
we've never met in real life, that doesn't matter.
right.
And we did the meditation at the same time, which seems to amplify it even more. And then
Mhm.
the other extreme, I've got people I've never met, never talked to, never messaged, apart from just a comment on a Facebook. So I'd love to know what the effectiveness of that is.
Right.
And then like this week, I've had a lady what's come to me from a referral from somebody else who I did a hypnosis with, and
Mhm.
she's had a chronic back pain for, I think she said 5 weeks. And she just basically couldn't sit down. The only time she's comfortable is when she's laid flat on the floor or she's
Mhm.
walking. Apart from
Mhm.
that, she's in constant pain. But I've connected to her on a Zoom call. So we had a good conversation. I explained how it worked. She also had some Reiki training herself, so she understood about energy. So I think that may have had a bearing that she understood how it worked. And
Mhm.
I've done healing her this week, and she's had an amazing turnaround. Well, she's doing things now what she's not been able to do for weeks, pain free.
Wow,
So
that's
for me,
great.
I don't know if that's just because I'm getting better at it, or is it because I've made that connection? I suspect the latter. I think it's because, well, maybe a bit of both. I'm getting better at it as well. But I think
Yeah.
having that connection and at least having a Zoom call with somebody and looking into the eyes and speaking to them and connecting with them. And then when you're sending the healing, you feel like you can concentrate on that person more. Do you know what I mean, Debbie? It seems to for me, it seems
Yeah,
to
I
make
wondered about that. I mean, I've certainly done lots and lots and lots in my past remote healing. And the person didn't know at the time what I was doing, but they also experienced, I mean, they would say, I just feel whatever it was.
yeah.
Um, and I mean, I don't know if
I don't
we
know. Well, thinking
necessarily,
about it, my mother-in-law, she didn't know at all. I never
no,
said a word to her. But having said that,
but you,
we love each other. We've got that good connection. So
right.
maybe it's just that's the
Or
reason
the
why.
intention is good. I mean, I don't know,
Yeah,
maybe if it isn't that you necessarily have to know them. I mean, I think it can be both, perhaps. And also,
yeah,
I mean, there's a way of doing this work where you connect to your higher self and their higher self.
yeah, yeah.
So, um,
Yes, and yes.
yeah,
When you get permission off them, and obviously and they participate and show you what needs doing. Yeah, you're right. It
I've
does
had
make
somebody ask me to do some work on a specific thing, and so I'm gonna I'll maybe do an experiment and see
yeah,
whether we all contact her and say I'm going to do this now, or or maybe I'll another time just do it, and connect with her higher self. I
yeah,
don't
and see if
let's
there's any
see.
difference in
Yeah, I mean, I think we don't really know how powerful
Well, what I
this
say, Debbie,
is.
I had a conversation with my mother-in-law today.
Oh,
I was talking about my father-in-law. He's got very bad dementia. So I said,
oh,
I want to get, my goal is to get to the point where I can cure his dementia. And she said, oh, I don't think you'll, that's probably too far, that, Alan. I went, no. Ina, if source energy creates the entire universe and every dimension in it, I think he
right,
can sort out somebody's brain. That's the
right,
way I see it. I
right.
mean,
Wow.
to me, it makes, yeah, you know what I mean. There's no limits, is there?
I
Uh,
think that we're going to be what we're going to be needed as well as and people to learn is because of the products that they've taken.
yeah, exactly.
And I have to say, I did. I've done lots and lots of soul centered healing hypnosis work and past life regression, and every single person was had some incredible healing, made huge changes after in their life in various ways,
Yeah,
health wise, relationship wise, career wise. Nothing, it's just the work that had been done, if you want to call it work,
yeah.
the healing that had been done. And oh no, I've lost my train of thought. Duh. Um,
Well,
what was
basically, you were saying, wasn't you, that it's different types of healing as well. I mean, I know what I picked up on that when you were telling me how you sent me the email, didn't you? And what they'd said about the relationships, how they got rid of this man, or they'd just basically healed the life, but they'd healed it not necessarily in an illness way. They'd healed it in different ways, hadn't they? Through
yeah.
what you did, yeah.
I can't remember what my point was, really. I mean, it's probably because I'm on here live. Oh,
Oh, never mind.
well,
It'll
it comes
come back
back again,
again. It'll
whatever.
come back.
I can't remember. I'm sure when after I watch this, I'll like, oh, Deborah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, shall we actually have a tell people that's listening then how they can do this themselves then? Because that's what I
Sure.
love healing people, and I would love to teach other people how simple it is. And I'm
It
sure
is.
people in this group who's watching this, I think the vast majority of them meditate, they understand about source energy and all the rest of it. And I just love to just go through what we do. I mean,
Mhm.
because we both do the same thing. I've been sort of sharing my insights, and you've then been trying, and it's been working, hasn't it? So,
Mhm.
I
Right.
mean, all I don't know about you, Debbie, but for me, for instance, like today, I've been sending healing out to 3 people. Like I'll just say one person, just person A, let's say. So all I do, I start a meditation as I would normally. I ground myself, which is to that Mother Earth, and I sort of and I make a connection with Mother Earth to say that any toxins I take out of people goes back to Mother Earth to be recycled back to source. So I make that connection. I then breathe in, and as I'm breathing in deeply, I used to just bring source energy into my head like that and then bring it into my heart center. But this week I've had an upgrade, and my higher self has told me that I don't have to do that. I can radiate it from my center. So either
Right.
way work, because I heal people using either way, but I'll just
Yeah.
say what I do now. So every breath I take in now, I visualize a golden light coming from my heart center outwards. And then I intentionally, with every exhale of breath, I make that into like a bubble around me of healing and protection. I know you do the same, don't you, with the
Right.
healing protection? And the reason we do this is twofold. Is when I'm doing it with, if I'm doing a guided meditation with somebody else, I want to put protection on them as well. So they do it and put protection on themselves, because we all know, and in case you don't, when you're doing meditation, you have to be careful what you're communicating with, because there's lots of nefarious entities out there that want to give
Yes.
you wrong info and influence you, etc. So I found, with the intention of using source energy as a shield, that seems to filter out all the stuff we don't want. And
Yeah.
also I intentionally send like a bubble of healing around myself, so I'm like surrounding myself in a golden healing bubble. Now
Mhm.
once I've done that, then I'm then ready to heal either myself or somebody else.
Mhm.
So what I do then, let's just say somebody listen to this now, you want to heal your husband, let's say your
Mhm.
husband's got a bad back, then all I would do then, if I was you, I would use my sort of my imagination, my manifestation powers to sort of see yourself go in your bubble. So it's not you physically; it's like your sort of higher self side of you in a bubble of healing. Go up to the person you want to heal. So it doesn't have to be literally wherever they are. It's just as long as you're making that connection with them
In your mind.
in your mind, yeah. And then what I used to do is I used to bring source energy then down into the person's head.
Yeah.
And just instinctively, I did this because my higher self said it's the right thing to do when I first started doing it. I sort of dive into the person's head. It sounds weird, but so I've got
Yeah.
golden light coming into the head, and I
Yeah.
used to dive into that and like become the focus of the source energy into the person's body. And then I used to go to the place where they needed the healing the most, and then just visualize this golden light going into whatever body part or whatever it is what's needed. Now I do it a little bit different. I sort of just I breathe in, and the golden light comes out of me into my hands, and then I send it from my hands into the place. Makes no difference as far as I can see. It's still doing the
No,
same thing.
it
Um,
is.
like same thing. It's just the intention of the source energy, concentrating
Right.
on the part what needs to be done. And that's basically all I do is that. And
Yeah.
uh, and and if it's an emotional problem, I will then use source energy to swirl around the body, the energy levels, or in the chakras, or wherever it may be, where I instinctively feel that they need some healing. I just
Yeah.
go with it. And I found the more I just go with me, I call it my instincts, but I think it's just guidance from my higher self where to do the healing, and
Mhm.
then do it, and just don't think about it, just do it. Because we both know, don't we, through with us dealings with hypnosis, with your higher self or with other people's higher selves, if you take that first answer, what instantly comes in your head, that's
Yeah.
always that's nearly 99.9% of the time that's the right answer, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I've learned to go with that with everything, and I've been doing that instinctively with the healing. So
Yeah.
that's all I do. Now, do you do anything different to that, or how do you go about it from start
Um,
to finish?
it's similar. I mean, I certainly sometimes I'll bring like source energy down into me, and um, then but I send it out through my heart center.
Yeah,
I send it out that way, and then I do the same thing about protection and um, put a healing sort of sphere around me. But when I basically kind of scan the person, so I'll connect with their higher self. So my higher self and their higher self, and I'll send it out through my heart center, and go to them, and then I'll do a scan, like in my in my mind, and see sort of areas that, unless I know what's wrong with them, then I can focus on that first. But I usually always do a scan, and I'll send what is sort of like a liquid golden light.
yeah.
It's like almost like pouring gold into the person, like all the way down, and then I'll send it specifically to areas. Also, sometime like I'll ask, maybe one of the archangels, Raphael, to come and join me to help me, or send a Master Jesus Christ, whatever, to come and help me that as well.
Yeah.
You don't have to, but I have done that, And
So is that instinctively when you do that? Then you just
yeah,
whatever you feel. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then, I'll just, I'll just flood the area with light, with golden light, whatever it is, whatever it's their stomach have an issue, or if it's their whole body, just flood it with light, and then put a sphere around them.
Yep. Yeah. I forgot.
Basically, for their higher self to say, look, just continue to flood this area for as long as, or whatever it is, your entire body, as long as you need,
I've
as you
started
need it.
doing it that bit now. I've started telling the people while I'm in meditation that, and telling the higher self that every time they take a breath in, they're bringing source energy into the self, and
Yeah.
every time they exhale, that's then creating that bubble of healing energy. So all the time they're
Nice.
breathing, all the time they're doing it constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that'll come to me instinctively. Yeah, so I think
I mean, I think I really would like, when I do the soul centered healing hypnosis, I would like to do this at the end, more specific to what you're doing here, what we're doing here now, what you're showing me, and so on.
yeah,
I mean, I do chakra healing, with balancing realignment and, auric field work and so
yeah,
on during
yeah,
those sessions. But I think specifically, when I have the person to just do, some source healing at the end of the sessions.
yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely. I mean, I can't
Yeah.
wait to try. Going back to the conversation you were saying earlier that you wanted to do it quicker. Well, obviously, this is a
Yeah.
lot quicker. I
Yeah.
mean, I can heal people. Well, no, sorry, I'll reiterate. I can start the healing process in a
Mhm.
10 or 15-minute meditation. But then I was shown how to do it with more people at once. I've yet to sort of really get the knack of this yet, I think. But it's just that all the only difference is be under me pyramid, and then do the healing and like a huge bubble in front of me.
Mhm.
I was shown how to create a huge like dome of source sort of energy healing, and then just intentionally bring the people into that
Into the
dome,
dome.
and then just rain down all this source energy onto them from this dome,
Wow.
but not concentrating on any particular person, any particular ailment.
Right.
And I think that's where we're heading. I think that's where me and you are both going to be able to do that very easily at some
Yeah.
point. But
I mean, I've certainly done that. Like, I'll say, like, for the area that I'm living in, I'll, send, source
yeah,
healing to my community, then to my city. I'll just keep
yeah,
expanding.
yeah, me too. Yeah,
That's what I was going to tell you, was before, when I lost my train of thought. Wasn't it about when people are, the only person that I really had difficulty healing ever, the person had the product. The
oh,
only person, the only one.
oh, yeah, I remember you telling me. Yeah,
And I'm saying, I think that this would be good to put a focus on how to help those people,
yeah,
because I mean, there's physical things, like, people are drinking certain, is it pine needle tea, and certain
yeah,
things that they can take. But I mean, energetically, I think that this is going to be really needed. I think that
yes,
that was
I
the
agree.
point that I was trying to, I had forgotten before, because I think, uh,
There's,
you know,
there's,
and
there's going to be millions of people that need it, basically. Yeah, and
I think I'm going to contact the person that I had done that session with,
yeah,
um, who certainly had some success, but she didn't, later, and she's had two sessions from two different people where she
yeah,
had, attachments and so on removed, like very intense sessions from two different practitioners,
yeah,
and still she was experiencing sort of like, what she described as, worms, or
crawling
some
around.
in her feet,
Yeah, yeah,
and crawling around. Okay,
yeah,
so I'm thinking of contacting her and saying, hey, look, let me do some of this particular healing. You don't have to do anything,
yeah.
and let me just do that for a while and see how
It
that
will
works.
work. I'm telling you, Debbie, that'll work because that's why, like I said, the first ever experience I had outside when that's what my higher self told me. Just the detoxing version of it was for those people that have had this product. Yeah, because obviously when you're in higher realms, they can see what's happening and what's already happened probably. And I think what's going to happen on this planet, I don't know about me, what you think, but I think when the more people start to wake up and the awakening takes off to a global scale, and even after, let's say, the bad guys are not around no more, if that happens, which I do believe it will, these
Yes.
people are still going to be left with injuries. So I think then hopefully they will see there's more to this reality than what they think's on the TV, and then they're going to be open to have this sort of healing. And I think that's then maybe where this mass healing type of scenario could happen. I mean, if you've got like 100 people that come to you and you get to a point you can heal them in one go, I mean, wow. How powerful would that be and how quick would it be? You know what I mean? So, yeah.
And maybe that's why we're being shown.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think so. I do. I don't know about you, but I feel this is just the start of my journey. I feel this is what I came here to do. In all the things I've ever done in my life, this seems to be the reason why I'm here. And I know that's true. I can feel it inside me. I know when I'm saying it. And I think it's just a start. And I think you definitely are the same. That's why
it's kind of a coincidence, and I really don't believe in coincidence. That's why this is being shown to us at this time. And you know why I'm like, look, this is taking. When I was doing, I love. Don't get me wrong. I love to do entity and attachment and hypnosis work. I love to do that, but it's very time consuming. Often, so it's like, okay, well, what can I do to help more people? Because I was very pressured almost that to learn how to heal people and how to show them how to heal themselves easily, like now. So it's like this sort of like, okay, I need to learn how to do this because I need to know how to do this because we're going to need it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And here we are. We've learned it. Hopefully anyone watching this video now can just do it as well. Listen to how we do it and practice the
you have a video. Don't you have a couple of videos? I mean, I have one on my website, I think. Or maybe that's a guy. I don't remember what that one's on there now. I think it's for emotional. But
it's all the same.
It's a guided meditation that people can do on their own. So, you don't have to have, someone do it for you, but some people want that. Yeah. They just, they want to feel better and
they do.
They want someone to help them.
Yeah. Still in that paradigm that we need to go and see somebody else to heal. Yeah.
But I mean, I think the thing is people are just feeling so upset and so after they've they're feeling a little better, then they can see things in a different way. And also to say, oh, I could do this. I can help my sister. I can learn how to do this because they're just different. They just feel different. And there might been experience like you had back pain all that time, and now you don't have that anymore. Since I've been doing this, I had also like sort of like a gallbladder area pain. Haven't had any of that like for 2 weeks. Since I worked on that, nothing. And I specifically worked on that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It's the way forward. It is the way forward. It is.
Yeah.
Right, and we've been doing that now 33 minutes and 30, nearly 30 odd seconds. All the threes. Yeah, nearly.
It's going to be 3.
It's not far off. Yeah, not far off. So, shall we leave it there for now? We can do as many of these live ones as you want. I think what we should do is carry on doing what we're doing. And as our gifts progress, I think we should do more videos and let people know where we're at and maybe some more success stories. I think now I know we've done one live and how it works. I'd love to get some guests on what have been healed by us, and if they're willing to come on screen and actually say what they've got, what's been done for them. Because I think when people, it's okay listening to me and you, but if you get some people on to testify that it worked on them, then people will know it's true what we're saying, and it'll give them more confidence to try it themselves and heal.
Well, I'm an example of that it worked because it really did work for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It really did work. Like for when I was physically unwell, I'm like, oh my God, I feel so awful. You said, well, let's do a let's do a healing session together, see how that works out.
Yeah.
It worked. It
Yeah.
was almost as though I had to be shown, okay, so this stuff works. Just in case you're
Yeah.
doubting it. Like, seriously, I'm
I
like,
know. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, your higher self works in strange ways, and I don't doubt that's exactly. Well, I said to you, didn't I? That's why I reckon that's why it was like that, because you needed to be shown
I
yourself.
guess. I mean, I hadn't been, off balance and for unwell for such a long time.
Yeah.
And there was no reason, for me to have, gotten ill. So, but I've been fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay.
All right then. So
Right.
we'll leave it there then. So anyone listening to
Well,
this, if you just want to get in touch with us, you can. What's your website? Yours is just DebbiAnnEdison.com. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can see a name on there. .com. Mine's EnergyHealingCures.com. So that's EnergyHealingCures.com. You can get me on there. You can get Debbi on DebbiAnderson.com. If you want to book an appointment with us, or if you just want to get in touch with us, have a chat, whatever. We're just quite friendly people, aren't we, Debbi? Always open to, I mean, anyone that comes to me for healing, it's donation only, and I know you're the same now, so people can pay whatever they feel they want to pay to them, as little or as much as they want. Want to give me £1 million? I'm going to say no. Or £1, I don't care, as long as I can help. Yeah. All right then.
All right.
So see you soon. Bye.
All right. Bye.